The difference, Mike, the difference is he's crediting the revenue for the cost for the business case. There's going to be some distribution projects that come off that. That revenue can't all be charged to this project with no revenue stream on the distribution. So that 60-40 split is the revenue stream that's credited to this project and 40% to the distribution.
Right. And I see you use 2%. You use 5% based on, but below you say discount on hurdle rate at 5.5 was used. Then you use 5% in our COP. Is there a reason for the change in the study?
That's what we use in our estimate, the 5.5% of interest. Cost of money.
Our last bond issue, correct me if I'm wrong, Greg, but it was like 5.13 all in. So that's our current cost of money is between 5 and 5.5. Yeah. Long-term money.
Director Sanchez, I believe that's a question. I guess I think what Director Body is saying is that we'll keep taking out little Visa cards for little purchases, somewhat to a degree.
I guess what I was getting at is a CP program, which is a cheaper interest rate, is a lot easier for these smaller programs, and your COP is for a larger build-out. I do know this one would qualify on its life expectancy and stuff. I just don't know if this is that's the best way we ought to be doing. That's all I was questioning. I'm not saying we can't do it. Just trying to understand.
I know some of these revenues that we want to get with the proposed 3% increase. What point do you think that cash should be able to cover projects like this, and that way instead of paying a mortgage payment, it becomes spendable income? Because it's like when you buy a house cash, you don't have to collect the rent to pay your mortgage. That rent is for you to keep.
Right.
At what point do we need to get? I'm not sure that's going to be in the IRP plan, to where we can just start paying things with cash again and start immediately collecting revenue from our projects.
Right now, with the 2009 budget, you're collecting around 50% of your capital needs. So you're about $60 or $70 million shy of collecting 100% of your capital infrastructure needs for 2009. So to collect an additional $70 million, you would need about 16%, 17% rate increase.
$70 million, but those are spread out through many different projects.
Yes, it's multiple projects that comprise that.
So I don't think anybody here is advocating, or at least I'm not advocating to go raise 16% to cover this.
And I'm not advocating that you collect 100% of your capital projects.
I think what we'd like to see is pay off 1 or 2 projects a year. You know.
And we are doing that. I mean, there are right now with the budget, there's around $60 million, I think, of money available to pay for capital projects. So roughly 60 of the 140 million could be paid out of existing rates. Just the balance would have to be financed. If I could jump back to Director Body's comment about the commercial paper program, when the 2008 bonds were issued, the energy commercial paper program was taken out at that particular point. There's currently not any energy commercial paper outstanding, and the primary reason for that is there's still proceeds from the 2008 bond issue that need to be spent. When those bond monies are spent, then the plan right now is to get back into the commercial paper program and borrow a commercial paper program for the short term for a year or so, and then issue another long-term debt issue to take out the existing commercial paper program. If that makes sense.
One more question. When we do the budget and you have a project 1.4 million, is it shown on our balance sheet as 1.4 million that we're putting into the overall plan, or just the mortgage payment, so to speak?
whatever is expended for a project will go onto your balance sheet as an asset. So it's really a two-sided entry, one side being the asset side.
Yeah. On the income statement, you have your bond expense against that.
Right, and the interest expense would show up on the income statement.
I'd just like to make one request, Mr. Sandoval. When you bring this back to us, you want to bring the full cost benefit analysis for us?
Sure.
Okay. And then also on your project team, you need to update some of your members.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I noticed that.
Thank you.
Also, I just wanted to, Carlos didn't mention the cost of a brand new transformer. That's about $700,000 to $750,000. So if this were just a regular project, we'd be talking two and a quarter.
Yeah, over 2 mil.
So,
And just to complete, the estimated project in-service date will be October the 20th. We expect to have the transformer on site before summer, just to provide backup to the existing. Out of the $1.4 million, there's about almost $700,000 for labor, engineering labor, and construction from our crews, to install this transformer, as well as $280,000 in material.
Mr. Sandoval, how realistic is your schedule regarding time and money? You've come to us before, namely the Al Central substation, where it went. It came back for additional time, additional money. Do you have the staff, or how are you going to make sure that this time, you get it on schedule?
Well, this project, we have been working on the engineering already for some time. We have the substation
How
design.
many do you have working on the engineering part of this project?
How many?
How many folks do you have working on the engineering part of this project?
We have a couple of people working in substation design, and in the electrical, we also have 1 or 2 people assigned, 1 engineer and 1 technician.
Is that going to be enough to put this on schedule?
We are already almost completing the electrical engineering. It's almost done. So it's, we have to check the schedule with our people, and we believe we can complete this.
Well, please check it, because I have concerns because of the past performance with the El Central substation, where you come back for additional time, additional money. You want to make sure that this gets done on schedule.
This project has already been vetted through the construction department. We've done a constructability review, Director Mendoza, which means that it's gone through our schedule. It's
It
again.
doesn't give me a lot of comfort, Mr. Escalera. I'm just telling you, make sure this one is on schedule and on time and within budget.
I will be back to you November.
I don't like surprises.
None of us do. And I can assure you that staff has done the best they can to
Okay.
estimate the time and the cost of this project.
Okay, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed.
You shouldn't have to do that.
Well, let's
We-
hope.
We've got good engineers and good contractors.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions?
No, I just want to make sure it's on schedule.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sandoval.
Otherwise, you're going to be in big trouble with her.
Oh, yeah. I don't want them coming back for more money and more time.
I will move on to general services, contract for solid waste disposal services.
Yes, Mr. Remington is anxious to come back up and address the board.
Any anglers in the crowd?
You have some of that.
Yes,
Some of that plant with you?
I'd like to say that Dee Bradshaw and her staff, along with the other sections and departments that are identified in the memo, worked almost 2 years in identifying every bin we have throughout our service area, every purchase order for every single bin to identify where we have been double billed, where we have had dumpsters that have been paid on that are empty, and they spent a lot of time researching almost 10 years back to come up with a way to verify who's paying for what and to come up with a contract instead of purchase order, which anybody can call to get a dumpster, and we were losing money. So I just want to commend them for the work they've done.